Hello there. Welcome to this episode of Just the Dis. My name's Brian. We talk about Blu-rays here. And for today's episode, I am unboxing and talking about the February 2022 package from Vinegar Syndrome, including some extra stuff like some partner label releases and a few more things that went on sale as part of their Valentine's Day weekend sale. And I'll start with one of those to begin with. And that is Madman. This is now available in 4K, which is very exciting because this is sort of one of my low-key favorite slasher movies. It is from 1981. It is awesome. I'm just a big fan. And, it's the story of a sort of summer camp, but as we find out from Galen Ross in her new interview, which is part of the Blu-ray, not the 4K, it's on the Blu-ray that's included here. We get the 4K and the Blu-ray. This looks like the same Blu-ray as before, but I guess it includes the new Galen Ross interview, which is about 20 minutes. And it's cool. It's great to hear her recounting her memories of the movie and talking about some documentary filmmaking she's been doing since the mid-'80s, which I wasn't really aware of, and now I totally want to check out her documentary work. So anyway, she mentions that this was originally scheduled to be a summer film, but the financing kept getting pushed, so it ended up being a winter, sort of fall-winter film, and so they're all kind of freezing, even though it's supposed to be set at a summer camp. But the idea is it opens like, Friday 13th Part 2 or something like that. Well, not exactly opens. That movie doesn't open that way, but there's a sitting around a campfire telling stories, and one of the, sort of head of camp guys tells the story of Madman Mars, who's a really bad dude who cut up his family with an axe and still sometimes can be heard and seen on full moon filled evenings, and if you say his name above a whisper, then you can summon him, and of course somebody does. And he is crazy, and he looks like that. He's got giant, bare feet that look like hobbit feet, and he is just a pretty gnarly slasher. And he takes out a bunch of these, young people and counselors, including as part of the group Galen Ross, and of course, she was part of Romero's troupe. She's in Dawn of the Dead, and she's just one of my favorite independent film actresses from this period. But anyway, I threw this in just to check out the 4K transfer, and it looks really good. From the very first frames, the red credits, all the sort of filtered blue. There's a lot of filtered blue that comes through, and it just looks very, very nice in this new 4K scan, which was scanned and restored from its 35mm original camera negative. And so it looks wonderful. So for fans of the film, it is definitely worth picking up, and this was on sale. This is the old artwork, but I kind of like the new artwork better, so I'm going to leave it facing out. But yeah, it comes with a nice slip, and all region, and has, I think, except for that interview, all the other features that were on the previous disc. You have a commentary track with director Joe Giannone, producer Gary Sales, and actors Paul Ehlers and Tony Nunziata, and a commentary track with Hysteria Continues, an interview with creator and producer Gary Sales, introduction by Gary Sales, Alive at 35, a featurette with Gary Sales, Paul Madman, Ehlers, and Richie, actor Tom Candela. The Legend Still Lives, 30 Years of Madman, feature-length making of documentary. So it's like a really solid release. Before, it was one of my favorite Vinegar Syndrome releases from early on. So very happy to have a new 4K of Madman. That's the first thing I got. Then, as part of the package itself, we get the elusive Drop Dead Fred. And I say elusive because it was originally announced by Severin, but then I'm assuming that maybe there's some slight rights issues, and it's a win for all of us. Either way, if Severin had gotten it or if Vinegar Syndrome, but Vinegar Syndrome is the one who's putting it out in the States. I have an import of this, but this, I think, is a new scan. This, of course, is a pretty big deal for Vinegar Syndrome. This is a Universal title, and I don't know that they've done a lot from Universal. This might be the first one from a major studio of that nature. I mean, they've done MGM, but like from Universal. Anyway, Phoebe Cates and Rick Mayall from The Young Ones. She plays this woman who had an imaginary friend named Drop Dead Fred, and she basically conjures him up and he starts messing up her life. And we know the story of this one, don't we, folks? Yeah, so this is the new Blu-ray, and it says newly scanned and restored in 2K from its 35mm inner positive, and commentary track with director Et De Jong, who also did Highway to Hell, by the way, a really good Kino Blu-ray, and he does a commentary on that as well. And there's a conversation with him and his producer, Imaginary Friends, featurette with writers and executive producer Anthony Fingleton and Carlos Davis. The Mega Beast speaks out, an interview with actress Marsha Mason. Drop Dead, a look at the... an interview with director of photography Peter Deming, who of course worked with Sam Raimi, I think on Evil Dead 1 or 2, I can't remember, I always forget, but good cinematographer. Let's see here, something with the VFX supervisor, special photographic effects artist, special makeup effects artist, and an interview with actor Tim Matheson, and then Memories of Snotface, an interview with actress Ashley Peldon, and deleted scenes, theatrical trailer, 8-page booklet with new interview with actress Phoebe Cates in the booklet. So you get your booklet, and there's your artwork, and of course the flipped artwork on the other side is like the slip. So that is Drop Dead Fred. Again, very exciting for fans of this one. And then we have Sister Sister. This one, I gotta watch these slips. Gotta be careful. Vinegar Syndrome always got some tricky stuff on their covers. That looks okay. All right. So this one has a pretty cool cast. It is directed by Bill Condon, who would go on to do some things like Gods and Monsters, but definitely had some lower budget stuff that's, equally intriguing. So this has Eric Stoltz, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Judith Ivey, Dennis Lipscomb, and I've never seen this. Always meant to. I think I had a DVD of it, but I think this is a definite fan favorite. It says protective and aloof Charlotte, along with her childlike innocent sister Lucy, operate their secluded country mansion as a bed and breakfast. On a cold and rainy night, Matt, a mysterious and handsome man from the city, arrives unexpectedly to rent a room soon after taking a fancy to Lucy. As their romance grows, mysterious acts of violence begin to plague the quiet home, threatening to unearth dark and murderous secrets buried deep in the past. Combining heavy gothic atmosphere, touches of magical realism, and elements of violence, murder mystery. Academy Award nominee Bill Condon's... Oh, he did Chicago? I guess he wrote it. And Dreamgirls. Sister Sister is a suspense-filled study of love and revenge. Let's see here. First time in a new 2K restoration. Let's see here. Commentary track with director Bill Condon. Commentary track with author and critic Alexandra Heller Nicholas. Yay, I like her a lot. Being an Outsider, an interview with actor Benjamin Moten. Staying Honest, an interview with actress Natajia Noglich. Orchestrating Altered States, an interview with composer Richard Einhorn. Going to War, an interview with cinematographer Stephen M. Katz. Deleted scenes with director commentary as well. 12-page booklet essay with essay by film programmer historian Christina Cacioppo. And new 2K scan from its 35mm inner positive, all region. There's our inside and our booklet. So that is Sister. Then we have Beware Children at Play. This is your slip. And the old artwork I flipped. Now this one, yeah, we better do it like this. Okay. Young Glenn and his father have gone into the woods for a fun-filled camping adventure, but when the dad steps into a bear trap, the pair find themselves stranded miles from civilization with limited supplies and nothing to eat. After Dad dies, Glenn, as a matter of survival, is forced to consume his flesh. Years later, children from a nearby town begin to disappear into the woods, never to be seen again, while adults are murdered in the most savage of fashions. Could not so young anymore Glenn have something to do with all the mayhem? Shamelessly trashy and a whole lot of fun, prolific cinematographer Mick Cribbin's sole directorial effort, Beware Children at Play, is a no-holds-barred assault on good taste, with a plethora of ultra-gory and creative deaths and one of the most ridiculous endings in the history of horror cinema. Another victim of the decades of poor quality VHS copies, Vinegar Syndrome, is delighted to offer the world Blu-ray debut of the film, newly restored 35mm from its 35mm original camera negative. It's a 2K scan. And has a brand new commentary with director Mike Cribbin, Why Don't I Have Children, an extended making of documentary featuring interviews with cast and crew, brand new interview with Mike Cribbin, and archival interview with Mike Cribbin. So a lot of stuff for fans of this one. And this is one I have owned on DVD, and I think I've watched, but I definitely do not remember. So it'll be nice to check it out in a wonderful new copy. Let's see here. So next we have the VSA title. This is one called Wolf Pack, which I had never heard of, and I am intrigued by. I did not take it out of the plastic this time, because I always have trouble getting them back in, so I'm just going to leave it out. It comes with this little, sew-on thingy. I can't think of anything right now. Badge? I don't know. Patch. So Wolfpack. This is from 1987. And it sounds a little bit like there's a movie that Albert Pyun did called Dangerously Close, if you haven't seen that. I'm a big fan of this one, and when I read this description, it makes me think of Dangerously Close. So this says, high school student Sam Adams has just moved to a new house in a sleepy all-American town. His new school seems perfect at first, and he is quickly accepted into the football team, but something about his fellow players seems a bit off, particularly the brutish and arrogant Jack Boot Butkowski. As Sam soon discovers, the team have appointed themselves as dictatorial leaders of the school, openly modeling their behaviors after the SS and terrorizing anyone who doesn't fall in line, while rewarding those who pledge blind allegiance. When Sam's unwillingness to submit results in a violent attack on an elderly family friend, he decides to take matters into his own hands. An allegorical examination of the allure of groupthink and the power of fascism, Bill Milling's Nightmare on a Damaged Brain, The Vixens of Kung Fu director. Wolfpack is a tense 80s updating of the juvenile delinquent film. Vinegar Syndrome Archive presents the world disc debut of Wolfpack, a movie which helped inspire the creation of VSA and which has been newly restored from its 35mm original camera negative. That's a 2K scan. So apparently this one has been in at least the minds of the guys at Vinegar Syndrome since they started VSA. So that's promising, you know. If it's that big a deal to them, then I'm very curious. So leader of the pack, an interview with the director and co-writer Bill Milling, return to the Wolf's Den, the locations of Wolfpack, and it has versatile art, which I assume would be just both sides of the hard slipcase. So I'm going to leave that wrapped up. And then on Valentine's Day, I don't buy a lot of these titles, the Peakorama titles, but Dracula Sucks came out on 4K. This is an adult title, and it stars Jamie Gillis, Serena John Holmes, and Annette Haven. I know this played at the New Beverly Theater in 2021 at some point, and so I was curious about it. Yeah. We'll just do. But yeah, so this is following the taking over a nearby abbey by Transylvanian Count Dracula. The exclusive Seward Sanitarium has been plagued by strange events. Count Dracula patients are behaving with increased violent and lustful temperaments, while mysterious bite marks are appearing on their throats. Visiting Professor Van Helsing believes it to be the work of vampires, although head doctor Arthur Seward is adamant that everything can be explained rationally. But when the patients and staff begin turning up dead and their bodies drained of blood, Van Helsing realizes that he must act quickly to save others' lives. So this is, let's see here. Newly scanned and restored in 4K from its 35mm original camera negative. It has Lust at First Bite, an alternate feature-length edit containing 40-plus minutes of alternate footage. Commentary track with actor and co-writer William Margold. Return to Castle Ranch, a featurette with producer Daryl Marshak and William Margold. Potluck, 1970 short film directed by Dan Gordon and produced by and starring Philip Marshak. Reuben's Revenge, 1971 short film directed by Philip Marshak, the trailer, etc. So anyway, like I said, one of my few Peakorama titles. I don't have a lot, but this one I had heard was kind of a blast. So in 4K, I'll give it a shot. Dracula Sucks. Okay, next we have the new Fun City title. Got to be a little careful with this one. It's called Balitis. And as you can see, it's done up in the old VHS style that they used to do. Actually, there's a couple variations on this, which is kind of neat on the artwork as well. But I love the way they've done the new artwork to look like an old, like, magnetic video or, just old style stuff. And this one, I'll show you the inside in just a minute. That's safe. Let's see. Oh, so this is kind of cool too. Like these old VHS used to have sort of ads for their other films on the back. And so this, talks about the origins of Fun City editions and offers, their other titles and everything. So that's kind of cool the way they did that. Okay, so I have to be tricky about this, but so you have two different variations on the artwork. One that kind of looks like the old Columbia, Sony Columbia VHS with the Fun City at the top, which I think is cool. But even cooler is this design that's sort of inspired by the old clamshell VHSs from Warner Brothers. I love this design. The purple and even this text on the side looks like the old Warner Brothers tapes. And so that's really cool. So I have no clue about this movie. This is where we're going to rely on Jonathan Hertzberg and his abilities as a curator to check out this movie. It says cult favorite Patty D'Arbanville, Flesh, Big Wednesday, and Rancho Deluxe essays the title role in Balitis, the directorial debut of photographer David Hamilton, based on the erotic 19th century poetry of Pierre Louise. The film's script was co-written by filmmaker and novelist Catherine Briat. And spending the summer in the French countryside with the elegant and beautiful family friend Barbara, young Balitis comes of age and learns a valuable, if sometimes painful, lessons about intimacy, romance, and love. D'Arbanville, who had been part of Warhol's Factory, was the inspiration for some of Cat Stevens' most beloved songs. I didn't know that. Effectively plays the sheltered young woman who becomes steadily wiser, and as the story progresses, the film is considerably elevated by the sumptuous score by famed French composer Francis Lai, Love Story and a Man and a Woman, which became a worldwide best-selling record. Hamilton's trademark soft-focus photographic style is faithfully rendered on film by the cinematography of Bernard Dayencourt, who worked on Valerian Borovchik's Immoral Tales and more. Now richly restored in 4K from its original camera negative for the first time ever, North American Blu-ray edition of Balitis. So you get the 4K restoration. That's great. That's what Fun City tries to do with every movie. This film's from 1977, by the way. Video interview with camera operator Noel Very. Newly recorded audio commentary by film historians Alexander Heller-Nicholas and Josh Nelson. That's great. And a booklet essay with from Sam Deegan. So that is also very cool. Got a nice little booklet and a booklet essay. So this is going to be a brand new one for me. Hopefully a nice new discovery from Fun City. And so that's that. Next we have from Deaf Crocodile, their latest Delta Space Mission, which is looking pretty cool. Animated film. As you can see there. I do like some, and I think it's a foreign one at that. Imagine an early 80s Eastern Europe space prog album, high on sugary breakfast cereal, heavy metal magazine, Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and 8-bit arcade games like Galaxian and Asteroids, and you have some idea of the otherworldly weirdness of the Romanian animated sci-fi film Delta Space Mission. In the year 3084, a Modigliani-esque alien journalist with blue-green skin, Alma, boards a state-of-the-art spacecraft named Delta, whose highly advanced computer brain develops a mad teenage crush on her with disastrous results. An incredibly strange and strangely beautiful work of galactic eye candy, Delta Space Mission defies all rules of perspective and logic, like MC Escher and Mobius teaming up on a Romanian Saturday morning cartoon. Fueled by an addictive Perry Kingsley-like electronic synth score by Callan. Nope, not going to do it. Delta Space Mission grooves along, folding space and time in early 80s Euro disco, perched on the edge of a black hole with its egg-shaped spaceships, giant floating triangles, and anthropomorphic computer. The film also brings to mind Kubrick's 2001 René Laloux's Fantastic Planet, which is definitely what I was thinking, and the work of Stugazzi brothers. That's cool. So this is a new 4K scan of Delta Space Mission from the original camera negative by Romanian National Film Archives and CNC Romanian Film Center with digital restoration by Craig Rogers of Deaf Crocodile. New commentary track by Kat Ellinger, outstanding. New booklet essay by comics artist, editor, and publisher Stephen R. Bissett. And new interview with Delta Mission co-director Callan Kazan, 40 minutes in English. Two rare episodes of the Delta Space Mission short film series, Planet Oceanodor, Planet of the Oceans, and Failed Towing, both about 7 minutes. So in Romanian with English subtitles. Very much looking forward to this one. That I had read Romanian animation and I looked at the cover and I was like, oh, that looks cool. But just hearing how they've summed it up here, I cannot wait. This is the second release from Deaf Crocodile as part of their partnership with Vinegar Syndrome as a partner label, and I'm just so excited for what they have coming in the future. But this looks like a definite discovery for me. I'm actually going to watch this probably first of all these. I'm really excited about it. Next up, we have the new one from... this is from Culture Shock releasing. This cover is a little violent. This is the American Scream. This is better. This is from 1988. And this is a cult item, one that I'm aware of, but I've never seen. And it looks kind of fun. Meet the Benzingers. They're the average American family. Two unruly teenagers, a stressed out father, and a cloying mother. They are taking The classic American Christmas vacation at the perfect mountain resort, but the strange residents of Wilson Creek have something else planned, something gruesome. This family trip will be a trip to hell, and no one will ever be the same. Culture Shock Releasing is proud to present the American Scream for the first time on disc, and this director-approved restoration was created using a brand new 4K scan of the 35mm original negatives with sound mix taken from the original magnetic audio. Very nice. And then in terms of features, you have an introduction by the director, feature-length commentary with the director and star, restored promotional teaser, and used for foreign film markets, etc., etc. All region. So that looks cool. I'm going to check that out. Culture Shock is interesting, at least so far. Then we have a few more partner label releases. We have Tragedy Girls. This is from Gunpowder and Sky, one of my favorites of the partner labels, and this is a relatively high-profile movie, a movie that I know a lot of people are aware of in horror circles or whatever, and a movie that definitely has already a cult following of sorts. So this is, I think, the second Blu-ray. I feel like this has been out before, but this is a new one. Best friends Sadie and Michaela are on a mission to boost their social media fandom as amateur crime reporters hot on the trail of a deranged local serial killer. After they manage to capture the killer and securely hold him hostage, they realize the best way to get scoops on future victims would be to, murder people themselves. As the @Tragedy Girls become an overnight sensation and panic grips their small town, can friendship survive the strain of national stardom? Will they get caught? Will their accounts get verified? New interview with director and co-writer Tyler McIntyre, recorded in 2021. New interview with co-writer Chris Lee Hill, recorded in 2021. Never before seen behind-the-scenes footage. Commentary with director Tyler McIntyre and co-writer Chris Lee Hill. Q&A at Screamfest. Red carpet interviews at Screamfest. Behind-the-scenes cheerleader hottie deaths in cars. Behind-the-scenes Tragedy Girls most gruesome death. Movie magic raw footage versus finished sequence. Conversation with director Tyler McIntyre. Green Band trailer. Lots of stuff basically there. So I remember this being fun. It's been a while since I've seen it, but definitely curious to check this out, especially under the Gunpowder and Sky label. They're good stuff. Next, we have a double feature from Saturn's Core audio and video, and this is cool. It's got two films, one from 1993 and one from 1996. We have Red Spirit Lake and We Await. And so this one, let's see here. Red Spirit Lake, after a vengeful sorceress is tortured and killed by a corrupt industrialist looking to harness the spectral powers of Red Spirit Lake, her niece Marilyn arrives and a snow-covered angel falls to settle in her aunt's estate. A meditation on the old dark house, replete with UFO abductions, castration, frank nudity, witchcraft, slaughterhouse saunas, and Red Spirit Lake, is a chaotic cacophony of subversive hyperviolence, psychotic realism, salacious sexual chaos, and picturesque winter vistas featuring acting performances by a cavalcade of legendary cinema transgression-era artists, filmmakers, including Richard Kern, Holly Adams, Kembra Fowler, Tessa Hughes Freeland, and Tommy Turner. Let's see here. Brand new restorations of both features from the original master tapes. These are going to be shot on video films, as has been the tradition with Saturn's Core. Well, let me just read the We Await synopsis. A con artist is held captive by an unhinged fanboy that ingests copious quantities of hallucinogenic green fungal goo covertly harnessed from an otherworldly sentient crystal house in their third floor apartment of horrors. That sounds intriguing. So in terms of your features, 2 audio commentaries with directors, Red Reasons to Live, an interview with the director on Red Spirit Lake, Psychic Powerful, an interview with Charles Pinion on We Await, Dissection of a Shot and Disembowelment of a Shot, raw footage featurettes. Let's see here. Madball 16mm short film by Charles Pinion from 1988. Making of Madball behind the scenes featurette. Try Again, a short film from Charles Pinion from 2015. Video Pharmacy exclusive deleted scenes and outtakes. Music video and rare footage from Pinion Vault. Blood video, Charles Pinion edition. 28-page booklet designed by Matt Desiderio. A career-spanning interview with Charles Pinion conducted by Mike Hunchback. So this is all region, and it's all on one disc, but there's your crazy booklet interview, and there's your disc. So 2 shot on videos from Saturn's Core, and then last but not least, we have the new one from Circle Collective. This is 2 films by Aaron Katz. They are Quiet City and Dance Party USA, and I'm intrigued by this one for sure. Both of these films. Quiet City was shot in Brooklyn in 2006. The Independent Spirit Award-winning film is a gentle masterpiece of naturalistic performances and poetic cinematography. Jamie arrives in New York to visit a friend, but the friend is nowhere to be found. Charlie has quit his job and isn't sure what's next in life. Their paths cross late at night on an empty subway platform. From this chance encounter, an unlikely connection is formed. They spend 24 hours together drifting to and from diners, parks, and art galleries and parties. Inflected with melancholy and hopefulness, Aaron Katz's second feature is a fully realized work of truly independent American cinema. My kind of movie. I love this sort of all in one night, 2 people meet, hanging out kind of movie. That sounds really interesting. And then Dance Party USA, Katz's impressionistic and audacious debut. Apathetic teens Jessica and Gus connect for a fleeting moment at a 4th of July party. Their relationship grows more complex when Gus reveals a disturbing secret. Delving into dark territory, Dance Party USA's raw, honest portrayal of teens struggling to confront questions of looming adulthood and sexual violence. And the features include No Grasp on Reality, a new conversation between director Aaron Katz and David Lowery, recorded in 2021. So Much Sheer Will, a new conversation with Chris Ray and Aaron Katz and the cast of Dance Party USA, recorded in 2021. In Love with the Process, a new conversation with Barry Jenkins, Aaron Katz, and the cast of Quiet City. So obviously Barry Jenkins is a fan of that film. Very cool. That's also recorded in 2021. And then Quiet City, New York premiere, introduction Q&A, and trailers. So very cool. Again, I like that you have 2 double features from both Saturn's Core and Circle Collective. And that is it for my box of goodies from Vinegar Syndrome and their partners. Hopefully this is something you guys enjoy when I go through these boxes. If you haven't picked some of these up or you're not a subscriber, maybe this is the kind of thing that will, make you consider it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.